starting.
Okay, that's a good answer. You know, I saw that Dawn had her hand up. Can we open this up to let her ask a question?
Yes, you just have to unmute her. So,
Dawn, are you there?
I don't know how to get into there. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was trying to get to the questions and it came up hands. So I have a question for Jessica. I was just wondering what was the most amount of pests she had in her garden, and then did she ever have grasshoppers and what to do? Because we had a lot of grasshoppers, but sometimes we just let the grasshoppers eat as long as they didn't devastate our garden. Does she ever have pests like that?
Sure. You know, over the last 5 years, we've had lots of different pests, but I think one of our farm goals was really to focus on biodiversity. And so as a result, we'll talk more about different methods of pest management, but as a result of focusing on biodiversity of crops, of the way we did crop rotations, of our integrated pest management practices, we were able to, I guess the best way to describe it is to make do with the insects that were there. And part of that was also education for our CSA members was, you know, we're not going to be able to have kale all season long because during the height of the summer, the aphids really like to come out and get on the kale plants. So, you know, part of it's education, part of it's biodiversity, part of it is just dealing with, you know, the fact that there's pests, and if you can increase your beneficial insects on the farm through biodiversity, then you're 100 steps ahead of the game. We did have grasshoppers, but never in crazy amounts, never damaging to any one particular crop.
Thank you, Jessica. We also had a couple questions about how to access the resources that are being talked about in the presentation in the slides. And if you didn't have a chance to check your email prior to coming on the webinar, I did send out a PDF, which is a handout of all the slides from today's webinar. So if you were looking for a particular diagram or a resource, the website of a resource that Cinda showed, you'll be able to find those within that handout. We'll also have details about the assignments on the website. So when you access the website, you'll be able to actually download the assignments, and there will be an assignment submission area on the website and also a discussion forum. So that's all going to become really clear as we start using the course website. So those things that Cinda's referring to, you don't have to try to write down the details of the assignments. She's going to provide all of that through the website. We had one more question that perhaps both Melissa could answer, and I think Jessica, you may have already answered it. And that was, how did you determine the size, the acreage of the farm needed for your original startup?
Okay, well, that's a tough question. And I think we're going to be answering that in future webinars, such as when we talk about resource evaluation and selecting enterprises. But, I mean, there's not a hard and fast rule because it's a melding of so many different elements. It's what are you passionate about? What do you want to do? How much money do you have to put into it? What's available in your area? What animals or crops do you like dealing with? There's a multitude of questions that you'll need to answer first before you can decide how much land you want to go looking for if you don't have it yet. Does
Yeah,
that
you're
answer
right.
your question?
I don't know whose that was. But we are going to talk about that in depth next time, and Melissa and Jessica will kind of go through that process. Okay, Maureen. Hopefully it answered her question. I see that Chris Snyder and somebody else, Ursula, had questions. Can I unmute them?
Sure.
Let me find Chris. There she is. The question thing's gone now, but she did have a question. Hi, Chris. Are you still there? Did you have a question? Okay, maybe she doesn't have a speaker. She can type it in then. Okay, I'm going to unmute her. Let's go down to Ursula. Ursula, do you have a speaker?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have quite a lot of land. I'm not a farmer myself, although I have cows and goats and sheep. All of them are rescued. And I have been looking for younger people to offer the land to for free. It's originally it was a dairy farm. It has water and barns and the works. And so far I have had no luck finding anybody other than some people who came here and grew marijuana. And of course I kicked them out. So, and the advice you gave me about FarmLink, etc., I'm actually posted there already. But where do you find these people? If I were in my 20s or 30s and somebody offered me around 100 acres just to use, I would be jumping on the next plane or ship. Hello?
We're here. I think in addition to FarmLink, one of the ways that you might consider meeting people is by attending regional meetings where there's a bunch of farmers at, and there often are young farmers that are looking for land. So being in contact with Washington Tilth, which is a great organization that has a lot of young farmers involved in it, I think would be one of the first steps. And they have a website, and you can find their contact information and call them and see if they have regional meetings. There's often also local chapters of Tilth, the Tilth organization, that meet on a more regular basis. And so I would suggest looking for those types of organizations or talking to farmers at your farmers market, because I think it's really through networking and relationships that you would find not only people that want to farm the land that you have, but would be a good match for you and for your land.
Is Ursula in Washington?
Yes, she's on the she said Longview, and then I believe it's a Granite Falls area.
Okay, yeah.
So Western
They
Washington.
do have the land. Yeah, that's really really got to be making connections and going to these conferences or workshops or tying in with the Extension Office too might be good. They may know of people, and several of the Washington counties teach this class in a classroom there, and you know, that might bring in some people that want to are interested in land. Yeah, because land's one of the things that's big issues. So, but it's matching the land with the people that are right there and able to use the land too. So, anything?
This is Jessica. There's also the National Young Farmers Coalition, which is a national organization, but they have a pretty decent website, and they have a land and jobs section to their website, which offers resources and a database for different farm and land related things. So that you might want to check out that. And also, I don't know if there's a land trust in Ursula's area or anybody's area, but the local land trust might be another organization to check with, because they often work with retiring landowners, but also people who are looking for land to farm.
Mm-hmm. Good ideas. All right. Have we answered all the questions, Colette?
There was one more request, and that was to re-show a slide that you had about with the farm and the family. So a diagram with a farm and a family. So I'm thinking it's with the whole farm planning. That diagram again will be in the handout that we sent out, but if it's possible to go back up and
oh no, that's
take a
farther
look at
back.
that.
This one? No. This one? Oh, that one. Is that the one?
I am not sure because it was a little bit unspecific in terms of going through. There was also another request to go to the Minnesota project slide again.
Okay. Oh, to
get the website. Again, this is going to be in the handout. The handout that I sent are the exact slides from tonight, so it will have all the information that you're looking for.
And this particular one will be right in the assignment. The assignment is a write-up, and it tells you how to do all parts of this. So, yeah, and we'll have a section for each week. We'll usually have, what you need to read, and it'll connect you right to some resources, and it will also, some of them will relate directly to your books that you're going to receive, and some will relate directly to publications that will give you the URL for right there in the Moodle. So,
great. And could you talk just a little bit about when assignments will be due?
Yes, they will either be due in 1 week, and well, how we set up 1 week is we have the webinars on Tuesday, and the new information comes out Monday for the, no, actually we're putting it out Friday, aren't we? Right. Well, most of our assignments are due on Sundays. Some of them are due in 1 week, which is actually less than a week, and or 2 or 3 weeks, kind of depending on how in-depth they are. Some of the worksheets we're going to have, are several pages, and you have to think about it and research a little bit, and so we'll give you 2 to 3 weeks for some of those.
And there will be an assignment table on the website that Cinda's completing that will have all of those due dates. There's an assignment upload section on the website, and some of the assignments will relate to sharing some things from the work that you've done in the discussion forum.